Welcome back to Elusive Escapes, your go-to channel for discovering the world's hidden treasures. Today, we're going to Budapest, the capital of Hungary. This city is on a whole different level. It's got stunning architecture, epic views, and secret spots that even some locals don't know about. So, here are 10 must-see and hidden spots in Budapest that you definitely don't want to miss. The first place where we start our journey is Rudas Baths. If you're heading to Budapest, chances are you've got Széchenyi baths on your list, because, let's be honest, that's where every tourist goes. But if you want to experience a bathhouse that's less crowded, more historic, and even comes with an incredible rooftop view, then you've got to check out Rudas Baths. This place isn't just any spa. It's one of the oldest in Budapest, built in the 16th century during the Ottoman rule. So, while you're soaking in the warm waters, just know you're literally chilling in a place that's been around for hundreds of years. The architecture inside is something else entirely. A massive Turkish dome, steam rising through dim lighting, and pools that feel like they belong in a movie scene. It's way more intimate than Széchenyi and has a totally different atmosphere. The interesting thing is that Rudas still follows traditional Turkish bath rules. That means some days are men only, Tuesdays are for women, and weekends are co-ed. If you're visiting as a group, you can still enjoy the swimming pool, wellness center, and the legendary rooftop pool. And speaking of that rooftop pool, it's the real showstopper. Sitting in steaming hot water, watching the Danube River flow by with a perfect view of Budapest's skyline? Yep, that's the dream. And if you want to level it up, they offer night bathing on Fridays and Saturdays until 4 a.m. Also, if you're planning to go, just bring a swimsuit. If you forget anything, don't worry. They rent out towels, robes, and even swimwear if you need it. After soaking in centuries-old thermal waters, it's time to dry off and step into something totally different. Metropolitan Szabó Irvin Library. Budapest has its fair share of stunning buildings, but this one is something you won't have seen anywhere before. This place is a hidden treasure that most tourists completely miss out on. Originally built as a neo-Baroque mansion in the late 18th century, this building was once home to Frigyes Venkheim, a wealthy Hungarian aristocrat. But in 1931, the city decided to turn it into a library, and let's just say they kept all the best parts. Inside, you'll find massive chandeliers, grand wooden staircases, and reading rooms that look like something straight out of a fantasy movie. Now, while most of the library is used for studying, a few of the original mansion rooms have been preserved, and you can actually buy a tourist pass to explore them. These rooms feel like time capsules, giving you a glimpse into the aristocratic lifestyle of the past. The former dining hall, now a reading room, is jaw-dropping, with its golden glow, huge chandelier, and long wooden tables, where people now quietly study instead of hosting extravagant dinner parties. Then there's the smoking room, which might just be the coziest spot in the entire library. Picture this: plush leather chairs, warm lighting, and a grand fireplace, surrounded by towering bookshelves. It's the kind of place where you'd expect people to sit around, sipping whiskey and discussing world affairs. If you ever wanted to read a book in a setting that feels straight out of an old European film, this is the spot. The library opens at 10 a.m., and it's a good idea to get there early. Locals love this place, and by mid-morning, it's already packed with students and book lovers. To enter, you'll need to purchase a visitor ticket, which costs just a few dollars. Totally worth it for the experience. Also, if you're bringing bags, there are lockers available at the entrance, so you can stroll through without carrying too much. Now that we've explored Budapest's hidden literary gem, let's shift gears. Next, we're heading out of the city center and into the hills of an experience that's as unique as it gets. Imagine a train where the conductors aren't adults, but kids. Yeah, that's a thing in Budapest, and you've got to see it to believe it. The Children's Railway. Budapest has an actual railway operated by children, and it's one of the most unique experiences you'll ever have. The Children's Railway is a historic train line in the Buda Hills, stretching 11.2 kilometers with 7 stops along the way. It was built after World War II and is still in operation today, run by kids aged 10 to 14. Before you start worrying, no, they don't drive the train, but they do handle tickets, signals, and announcements, all under the supervision of professional railway workers. These kids take their jobs seriously, and you can tell they're having the time of their lives. If you decide to hop on, you can ride the entire round-trip journey or get off at various stops to explore. Some stations lead to hiking trails, lookout points, and even a zip line. If you're short on time, staying on for the full ride is still worth it. The train passes through beautiful forests and rolling hills, making it a scenic and peaceful escape from the city buzz. Since this isn't an average tourist attraction, the schedule changes depending on the season, so check ahead before you go. The best way to get here is by public transport, or if you're in a rush, you can use the Taxi app, Budapest's version of Uber. Avoid hailing taxis from the street as they're known for overcharging. Always book through the app to get a fair price. The experience is perfect for anyone who loves quirky, offbeat adventures, and once you've taken a ride on a train run by kids, you'll have a story to tell for years. After that scenic train ride through the Buda Hills, it's time to channel your inner royalty. We're heading to a castle that looks like something out of a fairy tale, but this one was never actually a medieval fortress. Vajdahunyad Castle. This place is a hidden architectural gem that most people don't even realize exists in Budapest. It might look like an ancient medieval fortress, but it was actually built in 1896 as part of Hungary's millennial celebrations. The idea behind the castle was pretty cool. It was meant to showcase 1,000 years of Hungarian architectural history in one single building. The original version was built from wood and cardboard, but people loved it so much that it was later rebuilt with stone and brick to make it permanent. Now, it stands as one of the most picturesque spots in the city, a mix of Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque styles, all mashed into one epic design. Inside, you'll find the Museum of Hungarian Agriculture, which is actually the largest agricultural museum in Europe. Even if farming isn't your thing, the historic hunting weapons, interactive exhibits, and intricate halls make it worth checking out. If you're up for a little adventure, there's also a tower you can climb with a guided tour. Totally worth it for the incredible view of the park and surrounding cityscape. If you're visiting, plan your trip right. The museum is closed on Mondays, but the Gatehouse Tower is open daily if you want to catch those stunning views. And if you're a fan of fairy tale castles, you don't want to miss this one. Exploring castles is fun, but let's be honest, it can be exhausting. Time to kick back, relax, and do something totally unique. Soak in a tub full of beer. Yeah, you heard that right. Our next stop is all about good vibes, warm bubbles, and unlimited beer on tap. Beer Spa. In Budapest, you can literally bathe in beer, and it's just as amazing as it sounds. The Beer Spa is inside the Széchenyi thermal baths, one of Budapest's most famous attractions. But you don't actually have to enter the main baths to enjoy this experience. The Beer Spa has a separate entrance, though if you're already planning on visiting Széchenyi, it's the perfect way to level up your relaxation. So what actually happens at a beer spa? Well, you step into a wooden tub filled with warm, bubbling beer ingredients, hops, malt, and yeast, which are all packed with minerals and vitamins that are great for your skin. And while that sounds fancy and all, the best part is the unlimited beer tap right next to your tub. Yep, you can pour yourself as many pints as you want while you soak. It's the perfect mix of relaxation and fun, and let's just say you'll walk out feeling very refreshed, or at the very least, very happy. Feeling refreshed? Good, because now we're going underground. Literally. Budapest is hiding an entire world beneath the city, and we're about to crawl, squeeze, and climb through one of its most epic cave systems, Budapest's underground caves. You might not know this, but Budapest has the largest underground cave network of any capital in the whole world. Yep, there's a whole world of twisting tunnels, rocky passageways, and hidden chambers lying beneath the city, and you can actually go explore them. For the thrill seekers out there, a caving tour is one of the most unique things you can do in Budapest. It's not just a quick walk through a well-lit tourist cave. This is a full-on adventure where you crawl, climb, and squeeze through narrow openings as you make your way through the dark, rocky tunnels. Don't worry, you'll be fully suited up in a jumpsuit and helmet, but be prepared to work your way through some tight spots. It's like a natural obstacle course, just, underground. The entire adventure lasts about 3 hours, and while it might sound intimidating, it's actually a lot of fun. The guides even keep things entertaining, sometimes playing pranks with shadows and tiny holes in the rock. Like, you might jump a little. The best part? At the end, you emerge back into the daylight, a little sweaty, maybe a little sore, but feeling like an absolute legend. You can book this tour through various companies, hostels, or online platforms like Viator, and it's definitely one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences. So, if you're ready to trade city streets for underground tunnels, this is one Budapest adventure you won't forget. After all that crawling around and climbing, we've definitely worked up an appetite. Therefore, we're heading straight to one of Budapest's best street food spots, Caravan Budapest. Caravan Budapest is an open-air street food court tucked between the famous ruin bars and buzzing nightlife of the Jewish Quarter. If you love food trucks, global flavors, and casual bites with a cool atmosphere, this place is for you. Now, let's talk about the main event, the legendary Langos burger. If you've never had Langos, let us tell you, you're missing out. It's a Hungarian classic, a deep-fried dough topped with sour cream, garlic, and cheese. But at Caravan, they level it up by turning it into a burger bun. Yup, that means a crispy golden Langos bun packed with a juicy beef patty, bacon, cheese, arugula, and, of course, more sour cream. It's ridiculously good. But that's just one option. This place is loaded with incredible food. Whether you're craving Italian, Thai, Hungarian comfort food, or even homemade ice cream, you'll find something delicious. The only downside? You'll probably wish you had a second stomach because you'll want to eat everything. An important thing is that Caravan is cash only, so make sure you have some Hungarian forints on hand before heading in. Now that we've had our fill of incredible street food, let's wash it down with something that's been a Hungarian tradition for centuries. Our next stop is the country's most famous and strongest herbal liquor. It's a love-it-or-hate-it drink, but the tour? That's a must-see. Zsoák Unicum Museum. The Zsoák Unicum Museum is the home of Hungary's most famous and possibly most love-it-or-hate-it liqueur, Unicum. This herbal spirit has been around since 1790, originally created as a medicinal tonic for indigestion by Dr. József Zsoák, the royal physician for the Habsburgs. But it didn't take long before it became a Hungarian staple, earning the royal seal of approval and eventually turning into a national treasure, or national challenge, depending on your taste buds. The Zsoák family has fiercely guarded the secret recipe for centuries. The closest you'll get to unlocking the mystery is a table full of aromatic herbs in the museum. But unless your last name is Zsoák, you're not cracking the code anytime soon. The tour kicks off with a short film on the history of Unicum, followed by a visit to the distillery, where you'll see how this bitter elixir is still made using traditional methods that haven't changed for over 100 years. Then comes the highlight, stepping into the Unicum cellar, where over 500 oak barrels hold the liquor as it ages. And of course, you'll get to taste it straight from the source. You'll try classic Unicum and the slightly sweeter Unicum plum. And let's just say, it's an acquired taste. But still, even if you're not a fan, it's all part of the experience. The final stop is the museum, which showcases family artifacts, vintage advertising, and a collection of over 17,000 miniature bottles. So, whether you love Unicum or can't handle more than one sip, the history and tradition behind it makes this tour totally worth it. Alright, we've had the bold flavors of Unicum. Now, let's go for something completely different. Comfort food in a cup. This next place is tiny, but it serves up the best soup in town. And maybe even the best soup you'll ever have in your life. Gore's Gastro Bar. Gore's Gastro Bar is a tiny spot that serves up the best soup in Budapest, and possibly the best soup you'll ever have in your life. No exaggeration. If you ask locals or fellow travelers where to grab a quick but mind-blowingly good bite, chances are Boar's will come up more than once. This hole-in-the-wall spot is run by some seriously passionate chefs, and the menu changes daily, so there's always something new to try. The only catch? The menu is all in Hungarian. But don't worry, the staff here are super friendly and will happily translate everything for you. Now, let's talk about the soups. These aren't just regular soups, these are next-level, flavor-packed, and can't stop thinking about it soups. Whether it's hearty hot soups, refreshing cold ones, or even dessert soups, yeah, that's a thing. And the Nutella soup is an absolute game changer. Every bowl is pure magic. If soup isn't your thing, don't worry about it. They also serve amazing baguette sandwiches, stuffed with creative and delicious fillings. The best part? It's budget-friendly, quick, and right in the heart of Budapest's Jewish quarter, making it the perfect spot for a quick refuel between exploring. And before we wrap up this adventure, let's make one last stop at Budapest's biggest and most beautiful market hall. Whether you're looking for souvenirs, fresh produce, or one last bite of authentic Hungarian food, this is the perfect place to end your journey. The Great Market Hall. The Great Market Hall is the biggest and most stunning indoor market in Budapest. You'll find this massive hall on the pest side of the Danube, right at the end of the famous Váci Street, making it super easy to swing by after a day of sightseeing. Built in 1897, this place was Budapest's answer to improving the city's food supply. And today, it's where locals and tourists alike come to shop, eat, and soak up the atmosphere. The ground floor is packed with fresh produce, local meats, pastries, and spices. Yeah, this is the place to stock up on authentic Hungarian paprika. But don't stop there. Head upstairs to the mezzanine, where you'll find street food stalls serving up traditional dishes like langos and, yes, souvenir shopping galore. There's even a basement level where you'll discover fresh seafood and an entire section dedicated to pickled foods. One of the best things to do here? Grab a snack, find a quiet corner, and just people watch. The energy of this place is contagious, and there's something special about watching locals go about their day, bargaining for fresh produce while tourists excitedly discover Hungarian delicacies. If you really want to level up your experience, you can join a food tour, where a guide will take you through the market, tasting everything along the way. Because, let's be honest, the best way to experience a city is through its food. And that ends up our Budapest adventure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an adventure. And if you've been to Budapest and have a favorite hidden gem, drop it in the comments down below. Until next time, happy traveling!